Hi guys, and welcome to the new episode of the Definitely Maybe weekly vlog about rejection. Now, before I start with the subject of today's episode, I have to address a very important matter. And it's that, yes, I know my shirt is put on backwards. I like it this way. Take it as a fashion statement, I don't care. Okay, so with that established, there is one more order of business to take care of here in the means of the channel housekeeping. If you're not interested in that, just skip past the intro and you will land right in today's ramblings. But if you're actually interested in the future of this channel and the vlog and all that, then just join me here for a minute. So first of all, I want to thank the few of you that have decided to support me on the Patreon site. I haven't really mentioned it, and I don't think I will be mentioning it again anytime soon. But yeah, I've left a link to the Patreon in the description of the previous video, and some people decided to click it and support me, for which I am really grateful, because it not only motivates me to do these vlogs, but it also makes me feel just, better about making them. So thank you very much, I appreciate it a lot. And don't ever feel bad about taking your pledge away, it's absolutely fine. Speaking of that, of course, I haven't charged you for the book readings because I assume you wanted to support the vlog, but if I'm counting right, and I am pretty damn good at counting to 3, this is how many episodes I have left. Yes, I've been rejected many times and in many ways, but it is coming to an end. Of course, it will return if I have another rejection story to tell, but in the meantime, I'm not actually sure what I should do with this vlog. Should I just be vlogging about other things? If so, is there some kind of topic or whatever you'd be interested in listening to me talk about? The alternative is I can be reading some of my short stories that haven't been published. They would be, of course, complete, not like the beginning of the book that I just, posted, so that I wasn't talking about some ephemeral text you can't even check out. Well, yeah, I probably will post a poll in the description of this vlog, and you can vote on it, and you can tell me what you would like to see in the comments. After the 3rd episode, the 3 that are left, is finished, I will remind everyone to just take away their pledges if they don't want to support whatever comes next. And I just want to be above board, I want to be fair, and I don't want anyone to feel cheated or tricked or anything like that. So let me know what you would like this to become, and maybe it will become something, or maybe I will just put it on hiatus until the next time I get my ass kicked by life. Okay, roll the intro. Other projects. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? So after my easy-to-sell book Crashed and Burned, I managed to convince myself that it wasn't because it was utter garbage, but because I couldn't query my way out of a paper bag. Like, dear agent, there is still remnants of McDonald's cheeseburger in this bag, and I hate cheese, please let me out. Like, somebody would unleash somebody who doesn't like cheese back onto the world, right? Good joke. So as I've mentioned before, I actually wanted to fight for this book by making it into an ebook animation kind of something on YouTube, which would take me forever and a half, especially the artistic part of it, and I have eventually decided against it. But that wasn't the end of my YouTube channel story writing ideas. While writing The New Amazing Nightmare, I put quite some thought into the whole world-building aspect of it. It's nothing amazing, like some Tolkien-esque realms with their languages and traditions and songs and all of that. It's not Forgotten Realms that's been worked on by so many people that it has every little country fleshed out with beautiful detail and all that. But it has some meat to it. I thought it could be fun to use that for a project that I could just jump into right away. Something that wouldn't require me to dedicate myself to 24 videos filled with animation and reading an entire book. I thought I would write short stories for the channel that would be like folk tales from Saria, the world from The New Amazing Nightmare. I had some drafts made from this country, that country, based on their culture and beliefs. So they were varied, and it could be like a fun series. I've obviously made an intro for it because if I write too much, then I am really happy to do something more digitally, painty, drawy, whatever. And I thought I would write some short stories, read them on the channel with more sparse animation, just like a picture that just moves a little or whatever, and that it would be something perhaps cool enough to advertise somewhere. I honestly don't remember how I ended up with the final idea, but it kinda came out of that. Just the short stories aspect and the fairy tales and whatever just got lost somewhere along the way. It was called The Lonely Miss Misery, and I've written the first chapter of it, the introduction. The next ones were supposed to be case-based, something like that, and it was supposed to follow a small town where a girl that's the main character, she's looking for love, and she wanted to find love using a quite evil-ish book. And she awakened the book, unleashing a sort of a little demon imp, something like that, on the town, and it's causing all sorts of troubles for the people in there. So the troubles were supposed to be the episodes, the troubles, or, different happenings of the little town, and it was set in the world of the New Amazing Nightmare, just a different continent, not related to it at all, just keeping the general lore of the whole world together. And as I've mentioned, I've written the first chapter of it, the opening, and I've done a little bit of intro so it looked more professional than just, slapping the text and whatever. A story by Aryan Vai. The Lonely Miss Misery. Episode 1. Welcome to Beaverbog. I mean Foxfen. Welcome to Foxfen. Anyone who says that the old race from Karatana are the most conceited people of Saria clearly has never met a thoroughbred Marantian. Sure, the mages might have a sizable ego, but you know what? Here in Marant, we invented ego. It's still on this channel, it's just unlisted because I have actually used that story to expand it, and I have fixed it on the way, and I don't like to have things that are not the latest version of the thing up. The thing is, I asked for feedback, and it's not that anyone disliked it. Some people liked it, and by some people I mean like 3 people, because I asked like 4 people total or whatever. But others said that it wasn't really their thing, that this sort of audio story kind of thing, especially the episodic one, didn't work for them. And I don't know, I kind of lost faith in it. Of course, it didn't blow up. It had no way, no chance to blow up because nobody really knew about it. I don't know. I really feel sometimes that I'm trying this whole YouTube versus writing thing. It's trying to reach some truly niche audience that is probably busy with people more successful than me, more experienced than me, and trying to make like, imagine you're making a Let's Play channel. That's very easy to digest content. There is no content easier to digest than watching somebody play a video game, especially if they're being kind of funny and all. And people doing that have a horrible time just starting to exist on YouTube. And here I am trying to fucking get stories that I read to exist on YouTube. That's just, I don't know how to do it. I just don't know how to do it. So I realized I don't know how to do it, and I realized that if even people that generally like reading, like my friend who I've asked about it, he said that's not really his thing. What am I even doing, right? I decided to move on, and I think that was when I decided to go to the project I will be talking about in the next episode. Sounds about right. And before you think that I'm in any way blaming my friend for the failure of this idea, no, I don't. It was mostly my, the pressure of time and the financial pressures and this nagging voice at the back of my head telling me stop wasting time on dumb shit, you have to make money, you have to publish something, you have to do something that actually makes sense. And I was just like trying to grab this and that and just not, not coming up with anything. So another thing that I just had to let go. But were it not for that, I would have never made my annual series on the main channel, like the Let's Play channel, because I was like, maybe I should do some difficult achievement in Anno, and then somebody might come there and I might, advertise my writerly channel. I was grasping at straws. What can you do? I'm pretty sure you're seeing some patterns in my artistic writerly endeavors by now. I always overcomplicate things. I always try to do some art to them, some trailers, some music, whatever the heck. I think it was, I know it was because I used to think that if I did something different, if I did something more, that it would be enough to exist, to, grab somebody's attention. Like the amount of time I spent on my Indiegogo campaign, I wouldn't say it was as much as it took me to write a book, but it was a significant amount. And I was so sure that if I put all of those, if I made all of this art and wrote those things and made the video, that people would notice it. And it just doesn't work like that, okay? It's a very important lesson. I find that the thing you need most is probably luck. Because you don't have to do any of that. You can just write your story, make it good, sometimes even not that, but let's just say you ought to make it good. And if you're lucky, if you have good timing, if you have good feel for what's actually desired right now, you're gonna make it. And if you don't have that, and if you don't know people that are, connected in the industry, you gotta keep trying. That's the only thing you can do, because, perhaps if you just keep on trying, someday you will get that right timing, right? You will find the right person for your project. Because I am sure that somewhere there are people that would like what I do. Because there are people that like anything. You can produce a steaming pile of shit and somebody will like it. I'm sorry, it reminded me of a small anecdote I read once online. A man he had a baby and he wrote a post online. He said like, one time my baby just made such a perfect poop, like the perfect swirl, that I just had to take a picture of it and send it to my brother. So yes, you can literally take a dump and someone will like it. Okay, but you know what? I actually had some projects that were not rejected. Mostly because they were never finished, but I'm going to show them off anyway. Why the hell not? So, as some of you might know, my all-time favorite game that shaped my childhood and all of that was Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate 1, Baldur's Gate 2 and Throne of Wall. I have never played the Enhanced Edition. I don't intend to play the Enhanced Edition. The UI looks really sleek, but other than that, it's fanfiction in my mind because Baldur's Gate is holy and I don't care if it makes me a boomer. I will be a boomer if it means I can celebrate the holiness of Baldur's Gate 1, 2 and Throne of Wall originals. So, of course, there came a time when I wanted to make an NPC for this game. I have drawn a portrait, of course I have, and I've started to write the branching dialogues, and I was having a blast. I have made a character who... I'm trying to remember who he was supposed to be. Of course it had to be some edgelord, because why would I write an NPC for Baldur's Gate that was not an edgelord? but my goodness, I have forgotten all of it. He was named Zeron, I think. Yeah, I think he had this kind of like touch that he couldn't touch people without killing them. And of course it was supposed to be romance because that's edgy. And I know there was a TV show based on that. I think it was called Pushing Daisies or something. I don't think I've seen it. Maybe I have seen it. It was all so long ago. Either way, that was project. I've never finished it because making an NPC is actually quite difficult. And speaking of that, get this. And yes, I'm not going to be talking about my writing. If you're not interested in random stuff about Baldur's Gate and mods, then you can go. Thank you for watching. But I have to tell you about this. So a long time ago, there was a forum. It's still alive for Baldur's Gate modding called the Gibberlings Free. On that forum, I met a very nice girl. She's from Serbia, and we wanted one mod made. It was called Aklon. It was supposed to be an NPC with a monk that you can, of course, romance. How else? And the guy writing it, Big Rob, I still remember, was pretty active. He was posting updates for Aklon. There was a portrait, there was some, teasers about the quest line, and it looked honestly very interesting. It looked very interactive, and you had some different paths. Like the monk is enslaved, and you can buy him out, or you can free him. And there was a whole path where you can just, have some sort of friendship, romance, whatever, with him enslaved, and how he would react. It was interesting, right? It was something different. And yes, it does sound like a cheap romance novel, and I don't care. I'd take it. It would be really fun in the game. So we were like, yay, Aklon, pretty hype. We've been playing that game for ages. It was, what year it was? The Baldur's Gate 2 was released in 2002, I believe. And I was around 15, 16 when I was in that forum, so like 4 or 5 years after the release or even longer. We were pretty sure we'll be playing that game for a long time to come, and we were right about that, by the way. So we were waiting, it would take a year or two because, like I've said, mods are pretty damn time consuming and pretty difficult. It's modding Baldur's Gate was much more difficult than modding stuff like Skyrim and stuff where the game is actually made to mod. Baldur's Gate wasn't. Some really smart people made some really smart tools to make it possible for people that are less amazing, but still it was pretty tricky. So, okay. He's gonna take some time. Time is passing. My friend stopped making care mode. We both moved away from the forums because, how long are we gonna stick around there? And, life went on. New games came, new games went by. I played Baldur's Gate again and again, years passed. Aklon's still not there. I went to university. My friend had a baby. Then she got married. I finished university. I have spent 7 years trying to get my books published and getting rejected. After getting out of university, my friend started making visual novel games based on her Neverwinter Nights modules that came, Neverwinter Nights is a newer game than Baldur's Gate. She made her modules, she made games based on that, and guess what? Aklon is still in the making. And every now and then I'm actually getting emails, like the automatic response, like somebody replied in the topic about Aklon, and sometimes it is the bloody Big Rob that's still making this mod. And I always paste those to that friend of mine because it's like a running joke, and I think we will be like old and looking like raisins, and I will get an email about Aklon and I will send it to her in whatever VR sort of communication we'll be having by then. Maybe I will be like messaging her from Mars or something. I have counted that this mod has been in development for 17 years. And the best part is, I really don't think Big Rob is trolling, but it's hilarious because last post I've seen, he was like, yeah, with the lockdowns and the quarantine, I actually have more time and the quest, some little quest will possibly be done, and he has like a shit ton more content to do. He hasn't even touched the expansion content. And like, it's amazing, okay? It's just amazing. So if you've ever played Baldur's Gate and if you like fucking memes that life writes, then go check out Aklan the Monk. If Aklan ever gets published, I will make a bloody let's play of that mod, and I will make a vlog episode about that mod, because it's going to be a day of days. So, speaking of weirdest ideas I had to promote my works, I have actually made a Heroes of Might and Magic free map based on the world from New Amazing Nightmare. Did I really expect to promote my work through it? I don't think so. But I did tell myself that because I really wanted to make a bloody map for Heroes of Might and Magic 3. But then, sometime like few hours into the process, I was starting to feel guilty that I'm making this map, because my brain was like, you know, this isn't going to promote shit, you know it. Stop doing it. And I was like, please, let me just be in denial a little bit more. So if you play Heroes of Might and Magic 3, you can play my map, but it's kind of bad because I didn't pay much attention to balancing. It was supposed to be a multiplayer map because that's what I've been playing by then, mostly with my mom. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make one too, and it's gonna be fun. And it was pretty fun. Useless and not very good, but fun. Pretty. It's pretty. I also tried to make Skyrim NPCs once. I didn't get very far, but I remember I opened the software that you could kind of make faces in that, and I tried to make them, and they looked pretty good in the software. And then I opened them in the game and they were like, why can't they look the same? It's like, also one thing that always made me wonder, Oblivion, right? How is it that when you view your character from one side, the profile is entirely different than from the other? It's the same damn model. Like, Bethesda? Okay, I think I'm done. Bye!